scheming on him. Incarcerated, I went demon on him. I don't got no paperwork, I never folded. He snitching on more, we gon' black rose him. Know he wanna see him, he had no shoulder. We bend the bitches like some school folders. Some of them big, I ain't know I was local. Guess I missed that when I was locked up. Had a poor nigga out with done his.
Low-key, that's not bad reacts. I never really reacted to one of these bitches on my own. What we watching? The detective realizes the cop is actually the murderer. Whoa. Cops discover a car filled with serial killer's victims. That's 50 minutes. Teen killer doesn't realize he's being recorded. Serial killer burns his 9th victim alive.
It's 3:30 a.m. in a neighborhood in the city of Akron. CCTV records a man in a jumpsuit walking up to a house. Seconds later, what could only be a nightmare begins.
Akron 911.
Well, I got a fire going on 4th Avenue. It's fully engulfed. I think there's people in the house. It's blazing, man. It's blazing. It's up here quick. I can feel it. The lights are going out. It's burning quick, man.
Y'all can do 3 songs.
As the flames engulf the house, the mysterious man disappears into the night, leaving a trail of blood behind him.
Oh my God. Hurry, please. Oh, Jesus, the whole house is on fire.
As authorities were called to investigate, they had no idea what they were stepping into.
Yo, this nigga going crib to crib, just blowing that shit up.
Set by a vicious, cold-blooded killer, and detectives would soon...
Yo, nigga, you know how crazy you gotta be to... Like doing drive-bys is one thing. Nigga, you're setting niggas' cribs on fire weekly.
Find themselves racing against the clock as a serial arsonist hunts for his next victims.
Weekly?
The night of April 17th, 2016 was uneventful for 66-year-old Lindell Lewis. He had just gone through a hip replacement surgery and was resting at his home on 719 Fultz Street, being looked after by Gloria Jean Hart, his girlfriend at the time. However, this night would be different. This night would plunge the once peaceful city of Akron into sheer terror. In the early hours of April 18th, close to 3:33 a.m., CCTV footage captured a man walking in the direction that led directly to Lindell's house. And moments later, tragedy would strike the house of Lindell Lewis. Because he was in a hurry to escape, this first attempt at setting the house on fire had failed, and the flames died out, prompting the arsonist to make a return for a second time to make sure he finished the job. At around 3:40 a.m. and approximately 3 minutes after this second round of dousing the house with what appears to be gasoline, a raging fire would swallow up the entirety of Lindell's house. This was an early Monday morning, and most people in Lane Worcester neighborhood were asleep preparing for work. No one would have been awake to see who this masked arsonist was. More importantly, whoever this was well aware of Lindell's hip surgery, as it had made him wheelchair-ridden and unable to move.
I gotta see if they catch this
that
nigga.
The fire was started knowing that he would never be able to escape. And soon enough, 911 calls would begin pouring in as the fire raged on.
Akron 911.
This is 725, it's next door. I can feel it. The lights are going out. It's burning quick, man. If somebody's in there, they're dead, man.
Nigga, imagine you're fucking sleep and you just feel a wave of heat. Nigga, that's how bad the fire is, bro. Niggas can feel that shit next door. Dead ass?
Presumably, Lindell and his girlfriend were sleeping in their bedroom on the upper floor of the house when the fire initially began. Since the masked arsonist ensured that the fire spread from the ground floor, this meant that by the time they woke up because of the heat and crackling of the fire, they had no escape. Especially because Lindell was unable to move by himself. Gloria most likely helped Lindell move from the bed, and the couple retreated to their bedroom in an attempt to get as far away as possible. But all this did was delay the inevitable. As firefighters and EMS arrived at the scene, the elderly couple was heard screaming for help from inside their bathroom. Even with desperate attempts to save them, it was far too late.
Nigga,
This
how?
gasoline fire was far too violent, and the smoke was far too thick. Gloria Jean Hart and Lindell Lewis were pronounced dead by the time they were discovered.
That's fucked up, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
A tragedy like this was unheard of in Akron, not only because of the fact that there was now an arsonist on the loose, but
Ohio
because
niggas, bro.
no one knew who his next victim would be. Because as it turns out, Lindell and Gloria were only 2 of his 9 victims to come.
Damn.
The hunt for this masked murderer was on.
That's just a start,
and soon
bro.
enough, detectives
Let's
had a
go.
lead. During the night this fire occurred,
Neil,
the
did you
suspect
submit?
had fled in this direction immediately after his second attempt. This meant that whoever this was lived
Y'all submitted?
in his
Y'all
general
submitted? Damn,
vicinity.
niggas in there been
Considering
lurking.
this, the very
Y'all
first
submitted?
suspect would be Stanley
Hey, I
Ford.
gotta finish this video, bro. I'm
Stanley
dead.
was a peculiar man. He often claimed to be a guardian sent by God and would spend his days sleeping so he could stay awake at night to
Ain't no way
watch
it's
over the
full,
neighborhood.
alright.
Additionally, Stanley was also Lindell's neighbor, and the two had spent many years living next to each
Hold
other.
on, I'm
This
finna
is
make
why
room for y'all.
officers were certain that Stanley would react with sorrow when in
Let me make room for y'all. I'm gonna make room for y'all. I ain't gonna lie. One of y'all niggas gonna have to get bro, nigga, you literally submitted. Niggas just be lying. Yo, this not you, bro. Yo, bro, this not you. Nigga talking about, damn, bro, I can't submit. Yo, bro, you thought I wasn't finna see that shit? Damn, niggas be acting, bro. Hold on, who else said they can't submit? Neil? I got Neil. I ain't got Neil. I got Neil. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Bacala. Fuck Bacala. He not winning that shit.
informed of Lindell's death. But when a call was made telling him of the tragedy, something was off.
I was calling to follow up with you about the fire across the street.
That's crazy,
You know,
bro.
because of the tumultuous history that you and the people in Lindell's house had, everybody is thinking you, right?
No, Tanisha, listen to me once again. I do not mess with these people up here. Them guys try to get me to come on and engage with them. Them guys was nasty. They had prostitutes in and out all night. They was dealing with homosexuality. I didn't do nothing to them people. Them people was just mean. I mean, listen here. When they moved up here, Tanisha,
This nigga telling the whole thing.
They wasn't voted down.
This nigga pulling the
This
thug.
is my concern.
What's your
Is
concern?
that how to make people believe that it wasn't you.
Tanisha, you either take my word or you don't. That's all I can tell you.
Well, we do have another option.
What's that?
The polygraph.
Suspiciously, not only did
Yo, Ezra,
Stanley
we out here
refuse a
snitching?
polygraph
Dead
test,
ass?
but officers believed his reaction to be endorsing Lindell's death rather than mourning it. This was likely because of a lull in the two's relationship that stemmed from their arguments about property boundaries and maintenance. However, in all fairness, this case was not limited to Lindell alone. In fact, Stanley was infamous for often disputing with neighbors when it came to property boundaries. All things considered, Stanley was only
Somebody
seen
already
as a
had it,
weird
bro. I had
and
to get- I had
obnoxious
to get,
neighbor rather than
I
someone
had
who
to-
would
I had to
burn
throw
a
that shit
house
out.
down. For now, at least, he was not the most prominent suspect, as detectives began to believe that the one responsible for this fire may have been someone inside Lindell's house.
Inside the house.
The night the
What they
fire
trying to say?
occurred, Lindell and Gloria were not the only ones in the house. Thomas Hugley and Garrett were two of Lindell's friends who were going through tough times due to financial constraints. Lindell was kind enough to offer the two of them a place in the
Hey,
basement of his home. Fortunately, Thomas escaped before the fire could swallow up the basement.
You
but
said a nigga who letting you couch surf house on fire, nigga, you deserve. I ain't even gonna, you feel me? I ain't
Garrett,
gonna
on
lie.
the other hand, just so happened to be somewhere else that night.
Bacalaos, what the hell?
By April 22nd, 2016, Akron detectives would call in Garrett for an interview to find out
Nah,
what really
low-key.
happened.
First, let me say that I hate having to put you out there like that. Like all of you.
Nigga, my title did not say that.
You cuss, that's my first language. But I was worried because they said you lived down there, and I hadn't seen or heard from you, so I waited.
Yeah, I was there earlier that day because I was over my auntie's house, did a job for her.
Now, what's her name?
Shit.
Yeah, you cook, bro. You already brought up auntie, bro. Shit done got real. Shit done got real, nigga.
Okay. Now, I ain't trying to, stir your brain, because the main reason I want to find you, make sure, one, that you safe and you okay, and to find
I didn't know nothing about it until my sister then called me, and Mr. Hughley called me.
And what would they say?
They said the house burned down. But
This
they
nigga
told me
gonna copy and
nobody
paste the
got hurt
title,
in
bro.
there.
You're him,
And
bro.
then my best friend.
Comp stage garbage. Yeah, exactly.
For
bro.
detectives, it is definitely odd that Garrett is taking so long to remember the finer details, but this is nothing conclusive as of now. However, they are confident that by poking deeper, they might be able to find some clues.
We gonna figure that out. I know Saturday Nino Page stream for sure. Saturday Nino Page stream. I thought it took 21 days. I ain't gonna cap. I did search that shit before I put the title on. It says 66 the average, bro.
Wow.
Oh, no. Not that I know of.
It says 66 the average, bro.
Never that I know of. Nobody I know of right off the hand.
That don't seem like the truth. It seems like you're choking on the truth right
I said, oh, I don't know of.
You choking on the truth.
People he knew.
The fuck?
It's obvious you just had a thought. Do you just not want to speak because all of us in here?
This that rip, bro. Bro, I got y'all watching, bro. Serial killer burns his 9th victim alive. I gotta see if they catch this nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie, cause y'all niggas ain't never heard of no nigga going crib to crib, setting that shit to flames, bro. This nigga is real deal doing like drive-by arson, bro. That shit is insane. I gotta see if they catch this nigga, bro. And he really blowing they shit up, bro. I just gotta see if they catch this nigga, bro. And no, I ain't skipping. I gotta see the whole plot. They 1,000% caught him. Stop, you spoiling, bro. Shut up. Son, what the hell? That shit funny,
Stanley's
nigga.
name has once again crept into the conversation. In fact, rumors about Lindell and Stanley's conflicts had already spread like wildfire, and he was on his way to becoming suspect number 1.
Damn,
But
so this nigga
for
got
detectives,
beef, bro.
this could mean anything. Stanley would
We know you plan to
alternatively
take
be
2K
the
tomorrow?
most
Nigga,
suitable for
tonight?
Garrett
Fuck
up
is
in
he
his crime
talking
zone, a neighbor with a god complex who had frequent
Tonight.
conflicts with Lindell. Furthermore, Garrett has not given any details about his alibi. All we know is that during the night of the fire, he was at his aunt's house and was spending time with his niece. This is why detectives would not let up putting pressure on Garrett.
You're the only person that ain't even gave a scenario.
Hey, it's hard to catch a
Never
nigga.
gave me suspicious
Scenario means.
of anything that you might have heard or thought. You're the only one.
But I don't know nothing.
Yo. His 9th, how they ain't catch his ass, bro? Bro, you gotta think, bro. This is like niggas. It's hard to catch a nigga who on feet setting niggas' cribs on fire, bro. Y'all really gotta think, like, bro. Imagine a nigga like niggas just don't have no security cams. If a nigga come to your crib and set your shit on fire, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. It took someone, bro, burning some. Nigga, he burnt. Alright, let me just watch.
I know you weren't there.
This nigga's on feet, gloved up, everything, bro. He's burning the evidence while he's killing niggas.
The night of the fire, the night it happened.
That might be harder than solving a shooting. We gonna go IRL Saturday.
Was it light outside or was it dark?
I told you, Nino Page stream Saturday.
What can I say?
Who were you with?
Me and my niece.
And what time did you leave there?
The next day, I think.
What time did the fire happen?
I don't know. Thomas told me it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know.
Let me ask you this question. Was you going to the funeral today?
Yes.
Damn.
You know what time it is?
It's supposed to be 10 o'clock. That's what they say.
I'm going to say this. I'm just going to go on straight with you. But the gut feeling I got is that you have some names swirling in your head you just don't want to give them because you don't want to
Low-key.
get
I
them.
don't know them.
But I ain't gonna lie, y'all made this nigga miss the funeral. That shit fucked up, though.
We need
No
your
cap.
help. We're asking for your help.
I know. I understand that.
Making this nigga miss the funeral is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
But man.
That's why y'all ass don't need to be no cop, nigga. What the fuck?
I had to be tackle. And they made it happen for me. They say, we ain't gonna get tackled.
Nah, nigga, you might be onto something, bro. This nigga is something off about this nigga. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
For detectives, this was perplexing.
Nigga,
A
what?
suspect that was willing to cry for his dead friend and housemate, yet had no solid story for where he was on that day, created a contradicting situation. No matter what, detectives cannot be certain that Garrett is the arsonist, so they would slowly push him towards a polygraph test, claiming it's the only way to prove his innocence.
Let's see if we can get Sergeant Butler to come in and schedule a polygraph.
Okay.
Bro, that lie detector shit ass, bro.
It's his
We
schedule.
got a polygraph
It's his
operator here.
schedule.
We're gonna bring him in here and he's gonna schedule with you. Set up an appointment.
This is nuts. You know, I'm about to have a fucking heart attack from you, man.
Listen, man. We're trying to help here. We're not.
I will. If I can help you, I will.
Man, old nigga just flustered,
You
bro.
get something off your chest and let us know something that you know. You will feel a whole lot better that you're our key to the information about who's started.
Hey, a lot of y'all ain't built for this shit, though. Bro, a lot of y'all ain't built for this shit. Y'all niggas used to snitch when the teacher asked simple questions, bro. Bacalais. I'm talking to you, nigga. Glow. Yeah, a lot of y'all niggas ain't built for this shit, bro. Y'all ain't built for this shit. Nigga said 2K for free. Nigga, get on your knees, nigga, and suck this dick, nigga. The fuck? Nigga said 2K for free. I'm YSL for real. You said for real, nigga. You know how I go in the A?
13 and you are near in the house. You have no clue of who may have started.
Nobody gave any names.
No scenarios, no theories, no nothing.
It's just not plausible, sir.
I mean, that just goes on in a normal conversation. Who do you think did this?
I don't know.
It's just part of a normal conversation.
Even though Garrett just agreed to the polygraph, just moments later,
nah, we halfway
had
through the video.
Second thoughts.
Mr. Garrett, this is Sergeant Butler. He's
How you doing, sir?
They're saying you want to take a polygraph.
We good, bro.
You just said
You gotta enjoy the plot.
You said, while we at it, let me take a polygraph.
I didn't say that.
This shit not long, bro. Y'all niggas is impatient.
I said I would if I said I would.
It's past my bedtime, nigga. What time is it?
Well, it's coming down to a need.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk to the sergeant here. He'll explain.
Nigga said
Is it something that you
principal's
want
on
to do?
his
Take a
ass.
polygraph?
No, I changed my mind. That ain't working. Why is that working like that?
You finally told us.
This nigga just admitted to bullying, bro.
Usually, suspects are never legally obligated to undergo a polygraph test. Even if they did, these tests
Hey, yo,
are
I ain't
not
gonna lie,
presentable
hold
in
on.
court due to a lack of accuracy and reliability, since results are affected by several
Exactly,
factors like
bro.
anxiety and mental
Exactly,
and physical
bro.
health.
Like, that
And
shit's
with
stupid,
Garrett's
bro.
insistence that he is innocent and was not at Lindell's house often, detectives are stuck with no other suspects. Their only remaining choice was Stanley Ford, the self-proclaimed neighborhood guardian. But at
Nah, he
this
ain't do
point,
it. I ain't gonna
this
lie.
was
He
more of
ain't
a gut
built the
feeling for
same.
detectives, as they could not put up a plausible case against him for an arrest. In their eyes, many suspects were just as suspicious as Stanley, if not more. This meant the Arkan arsonist was still on the loose, and maybe these investigations had scared him, because things seemed to settle down. For the entirety of 2016, there were no more fires, and most began to forget about the incident. However, this
nigga
peace
took a
would
break.
soon come to an end.
Oh, this nigga took a break.
On January 23rd, 2017, someone set fire to a vehicle on 723 Russell Avenue, just a few blocks away from the first fire. The next 2 months would be another wave of silence from the arsonist until May 15th, 2017, when close to 3 a.m., Lane Worcester neighborhood was given another rude awakening.
Yo, so the
Multiple
nigga
people
clearly
are
in
dead
the
after a
fucking
house fire
neighborhood,
in
bro. Like,
Akron
is
this
it
morning.
that
At
hard?
least some were children.
The Akron Fire Department says the home was fully engulfed when they arrived. The heat was so high, a staircase melted away. The exact number of victims has not been released.
A fire on
I
693
don't get it,
Fultz
bro.
Avenue had resulted in the death of 7 people. 35-year-old
shit.
Dennis Huggins and 38-year-old Angela Boggs, along with their 5 children, aged between 16 months and 14 years. This was the second major fire after the Lindell home was burned to a crisp 13 months prior. The fire had started in trash cans placed at the front of the house and spread quickly through the porch into the home. However, this was no accident. According to a forensic analysis, an accelerant identified as gasoline was dumped into the cans. The flames were intense and enveloped the house within seconds. There was no room for escape. And just like the first fire, all 7 victims were found huddled in corners of the home as they had been trapped by the smoke and flames. The bodies had been burnt so badly that the only way to identify them was through a DNA test.
Oh my fucking
This
gosh, bro.
was a
What?
tragedy But compared to the first fire, finding the suspect this time wouldn't be hard, as there were only two options. The first was Patrick Boggs, who had a bit of history with Angela Boggs, the mother of the children in this fire. Patrick Boggs served 12 years in prison for dousing Angela in kerosene and threatening to set her on fire in 2001. He was a violent man and had even tried to stab someone, making him a very plausible suspect. But even with his past, Patrick was quickly discarded as cameras provided he had never left his home in Ohio. More importantly, an extensive polygraph test.
Hold on. So this nigga, they just said this nigga has been convicted of drowning a bitch in kerosene and threatening to kill her already. So this nigga just crazy. Like this nigga just this a casual thing for Ohio niggas, bro? The fuck going on in Ohio, my nigga?
Proved that Patrick was telling the truth about not being involved in this crime.
So Ohio,
however, his role in these murders wouldn't end here, as we'd later find out. For now, the only remaining suspect was a familiar face, one that was a common denominator in both fires.
I'm in the A. Don't worry about going on in the A, bro. For real. If you're not in the A, stay out the A, bro.
Officers were prepared to gather a mountain of evidence against him.
Who this?
Treat me like I'm a suspect, man.
Stanley Ford.
Yo, they keep saying this nigga name, bro. What did he do, bro?
Officers were prepared to gather a mountain of evidence against him.
They treat me like I'm a suspect, man. I'm not a suspect.
The first step was to obtain a search warrant for Stanley's home, which would result in a crucial piece of evidence being found. Worn-out tennis shoes that had been covered in an accelerant. An accelerant that just so happened to be gasoline. But the evidence wouldn't end here. One of the detectives would decide to have a one-on-one conversation with Stanley in his car, and what he says would be nothing short of disturbing.
No, listen what I'm saying to you, Stanley. This is so wrong, Stanley. Listen what I'm saying to you. Embarrassing to my neighbor. Listen what I'm saying. You mentioned some things last night about some bad people at the house, or?
Well, to me, I thought they was bad kids. The stuff they was just doing immature stuff in the neighborhood.
Like what?
Shit, kicking the vehicles' rear view mirrors, busting them out and stuff like that.
Is that a good way to get rid of somebody moving out the neighborhood or get rid of that?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it like that.
This nigga talking about them kids. That just
I ain't gonna
passed.
set somebody on fire just to get them out of the neighborhood. That ain't godly, like, man. That ain't.
Yo, I swear, if this nigga did that shit and he talking about that ain't godly, like, bro, under the prison, bro. Under the prison, bro. Under the prison, bro. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. Yo, and God, yo, shut your ass up, bro.
Yet another instance of Stanley Ford justifying not only the deaths of the couple, but of their 5 innocent little children, too. Just like in the murder of Lindell Lewis, there was a pattern of pure hatred towards the victims. A pattern so disgusting that Stanley felt it was his God-given right to purge anyone who upset the guardian of the neighborhood. In this case, Stanley often accused the family of dealing drugs, damaging his property, and engaging in illegal activities, which only fueled his hatred towards them. Several neighbors had witnessed heated exchanges between the couple and Stanley leading up to the fire. Not only that, but the night of the fire, neighbors mentioned how they saw Stanley continuously patrolling the house. This would be corroborated by CCTV footage that would not only catch Stanley walking towards the house right before the fire, but also running away from it after. If all of this was not compelling enough, there would be one last piece of evidence that would solve the mystery of the Arkan arsonist. Take a look at this footage from the 2016 fire of Lindell's home. Now, matching this with the footage from the 2017 fire, and matching both with the footage from when police spoke with Stanley in the neighborhood, there is one correlation. The way the suspect walks is exactly the same as Stanley's stride. Without a doubt, Stanley was the one responsible for the cold-blooded murders of 9 people. Officers were now certain of this, and soon enough, Stanley was called in for an interview to be confronted with his sick crimes.
We want to talk to you. I want you to be honest with me. Okay. I've been honest. Let's talk about the day in question. Let's go back to the fire. What about it? Okay. What can you tell us about the fire? I don't have no knowledge of that. So what's the point? You know, sometimes I explain to them, I exercise, I get Charlie horses. Right. Sometimes I walk the street and back. You know what I mean? Something like that. But I didn't do that fire, man.
In the face of these denials, detectives decide that enough is enough.
Over,
no matter what,
out,
they need a confession out of Stanley. And the best way to do that is to show him all the evidence that points towards him being the arsonist.
As you running back to the house. Mm-hmm. At the time of the fire. Okay. Right. We got you running to the house. You're not asleep. You weren't. You're on the camera, Stanley. I want to know no camera running from the fire. Stanley, you're on the camera running from a fire? We got you. Yeah. I didn't run from no fire. Stanley, listen. Yeah. It's time to come. It's time to man, listen. Yeah. We know the answers, okay? Right. But I wasn't running from no fire. Okay, you walked. You see the fire, okay? You're at the fire. No. I'm not at no fire. You're at the fire. I'm at a fire? Yeah, you're at the fire. Go ahead. We need to hear your side of the story. Johnny, I'm being honest, man. I didn't do anything. I mean, I can't look at somebody and do I would have did that. I got too much to lose, man. We got all the pieces. We know the answers. This is what we want to know. Is there some reasoning or some kind of something that happened, man? Did somebody piss you off or somebody do something? No. To maybe why, maybe like I said, maybe trying to send a message. I'm allowed to walk the neighborhood. I wasn't at nobody's house. I'm walking. Explain why you running back from the house. I didn't do that. Oh yeah, I'll tell you, I got wrong.
Yo, Mike Floyd, appreciate the follow.
Okay, we got you.
Often a suspect will refute their crimes even in the presence of concrete evidence, as this would still give them a fighting chance in court. In this case, Stanley is doing exactly this, and no matter what detectives say, he won't be cracking anytime soon.
Y'all believe that I did it? No, we proved that you done it. I didn't do that. I wouldn't have dared to did that, man. You want me to explain the charges to you, or do you want to explain them? I didn't do it. I'm serious. I didn't do it. I'm not going to admit to that. I didn't do it. If I did, I admit to it. I didn't do that. Let me explain the charges. Go ahead. Okay. You have 7 counts of aggravated murder.
However, this would be far from the end of Stanley's saga. Because he never admitted to anything and had a history of being mentally unstable, there was a chance that he could get away completely scot-free in court due to—
Hey, bruh. Mike Floyd. I see you learn quick. I see you learn quick, huh? Yeah, I see you learn quick, huh? I see you learn quick, huh? I see you learn quick, huh? That these niggas love to ride my dick, nigga. The fuck off my dick, nigga. First chat. He got it.
His mental status being absolved of all his crimes. 62-year-old Stanley Ford's trial would begin on Monday, August 30th, with the prosecutor, Michael D'Angelo, making his opening statements that focused on correlating the masked arsonist with Stanley Ford.
That timeline, his statements, and the similarities of his actions show his opportunity, and ladies and gentlemen, the evidence, all of that.
No, it ain't happen, nigga.
And that will show you that when the defendant gets angry with his neighbors, he sets their property on fire and he kills them. And at the conclusion of this case, Mr. LaPrinzi and I are going to ask you...
Yo, nigga, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Bro, shut the fuck up. Stop talking about my nose, bro. I ain't gonna lie though, bro. Like, this shit low-key scary. Like, nigga, imagine your neighbor not fucking with you this much. The nigga just set your crib on fire, bro. Like, that's some insane shit, bro. That's some insane shit.
Guilty of all the charges.
Nigga, you don't fuck with a nigga that much over
Stanley's
some property,
defense, on the other hand, knew the kind of uphill battle that they were facing and
niggas is yapping, bro. Niggas is yapping, bro. I do not look like this bit. Nigga, I do not look like this bit. Now you just talking, bro. Yo, I do not look like that bit, bro. Do not look like that bit.
Decided that the best approach would be not to prove Stanley's innocence, but to disprove the suspicions of his identity.
You saw from One Piece, I know that's some ugly ass nigga, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Yo, stop playing with me, bro. Yo, stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Deadass, stop playing with me, bro. I do not look like this nigga. I do not look like this nigga, bro. Stop playing with me, 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 bro. I do not look like this nigga, yo.
A lot of the evidence that you're going to be presented to is not in dispute. It's not a dispute that there were 3 fires set. It's not a dispute that all 3 fires were set intentionally. And it certainly is not
be real funny till it ain't, bro.
There were 9 deaths. Coroner, the medical examiner,
Aaron, what the fuck, man?
That she ruled, and then the cause and the manner of all 9 of those deaths. Those facts are not in dispute. But again, as defense, we told you, and you know that the state of Ohio has the burden of proof each and every element. Defense has the burden to prove nothing.
On the surface, this might seem like an open and shut case, but Stanley's defense has planned for these hearings thoroughly and knew exactly who to blame, because there was one person who could turn the tides in Stanley's favor: Patrick Boggs, the same man who was the initial suspect for the second fire. When Patrick was arrested, the most conclusive evidence to dispel suspicions was his polygraph tests, but these tests are not admissible in court. This meant that when lead detective Troy Looney was called to the stand, he could do nothing but watch as the defense twisted this case.
You knew during the course of your investigation in 2001 that Patrick Boggs.
Yo, bro, I'm over here trying to lock in, bro. Why niggas talking about sniff battles in the chat?
On fire, correct? Correct. Also beat her up.
What the fuck,
correct?
bro?
Correct. He believed.
Rate your nose in the Discord.
She.
So if I do a segment where y'all niggas just send pictures of your nose, what y'all want to do? Y'all want to fry me in the Discord? Ain't gonna lie though. Nah. Cause niggas gotta join the court. I gotta see y'all niggas' face, bro. Niggas gotta join the court and try to pack on me, bro. Deadass. I gotta see that shit. I love to see that shit.
I
love to see that shit. I love to see that shit, nigga.
Correct.
I love to see that shit, nigga.
That piqued your interest in this case too, because of who Angelo Boggs was now dating.
I'm like, get hot then, nigga. Get hot then, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Get hot then, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Nigga talking about he gonna get hot. Get hot then, nigga. Get hot. I'm waiting. Bitch ass nigga. Fuck is you talking about?
This line of questioning puts the prosecution in a tough spot, as Detective Troy could not immediately dispel the doubts of Patrick being the suspect using the results of the polygraph test. However, the defense would not lose momentum on this win. They would play their final trump card, bringing in Patrick Boggs himself as a witness.
And at this time, do you choose to testify?
I choose fifth, plead the fifth, and not testify at all.
So you're choosing to invoke your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
With him pleading the fifth, the defense's case became much stronger because for the jury, a suspect refusing to answer questions meant that he did not want to incriminate himself in a crime that he may have been involved in, thus shifting some of the blame off of Stanley. Fortunately, there was one silver lining. A major step of the defense's plan was to use Stanley's extreme beliefs to drive the case towards an evaluation of his mental health.
Yo, once niggas start trying to blame mental health for the reason you committed a crime, your lawyer's fucked, bro. Your lawyer's fucked, bro. He fucks you up, bro. If that nigga try to blame whatever you did in mental health, you're cooked, nigga. You're cooked, nigga.
Unluckily for them, if Stanley didn't hesitate to murder 9 people, he wouldn't hesitate to fight his own defense team and admit in front of the jury that he had no mental issues.
I didn't commit a crime to be pretty dealing with all these competence and these different psychologists and psychiatrists and stuff. It doesn't make any sense, you know?
But I gotta tell you, it's incumbent upon you to collaborate with Dr. Carter.
That shit on video?
Hey, send. I'm not saying no more doctor.
At this point, the only thing left to do was for the jury to come to a decision. However, even with every single one of the defense's attempts to save Stanley, the decision would come out to be in favor of the prosecution due to the overwhelming evidence they had. The similar walks of the suspect, recordings of Stanley expressing his hate towards his neighbors, and Stanley running back to his home after the second fire.
One verdict, one aggravated murder regarding Angela Boggs. We, the jury, being duly paneled and sworn and affirmed to well and truly try and do deliverance make between the state of Ohio and the defendant Stanley O. Ford, do find the defendant guilty of the offense of aggravated murder, a charge in the indictment on or about the 15th day of May 2017.
But even though he was found guilty of the fires, jurors were yet to conclude their decision about Stanley's punishment. This is when the defense decided to move forward with Plan B, do anything to save Stanley from the death penalty. There were a total of 12 jurors, and a unanimous vote was needed to give Stanley the death penalty. Even if one of them disagreed, he would be given a life sentence instead. And on the 12th day of his trial, only 11 of the 12 would vote in favor of the death penalty. The defense was successful in their attempts to save him, as just one juror disagreed, feeling that he should only be given life in jail. But even his life sentence would not be kind to him, because for every single year of his life, he would be reminded of his sick and disgusting crimes. Stanley Ford would receive 9 consecutive life sentences for every single one of his victims, without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 21 years. And to be reminded of his crimes, for every single date of the fire and for every single birthday of the 5 children he murdered, Stanley would be given solitary confinement, a punishment that he will have to endure for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he's fried, bro. That nigga's going crazy in there, bro. Nah, that nigga is going insane in there, bro. I was about to say, nah, just let dudes. Yo, and guys, damn, like I was finna say they gonna take bro through there in jail, but you ain't have to. God damn, fuck, bro. Yeah, no, that shit crazy though, bro. RP them kids, bro, and all them other folks, bro. That shit nuts, bro.